I look onto this screen with my slides right now, and I
Yep.
occasionally go to the other screen and watch you and try to look into the chat.
Sure.
Okay, so we are ready to go here. Yeah. Well, what I want to do with you in this hour is to introduce you to Facepager. We have 1 hour. That's very short, but I think we will go through the basics very quick. I will show you some slides about the basics of Facepager, some information about Facepager in general, and then I want to try to go through with you through a use case. So at best, you have Facepager started and can walk along with me then later. Okay. First, some basic facts about Facepager. What is Facepager? It's a tool for automated data collection using APIs, and we developed some special functions for web scraping as well, but this is experimental and this is brand new, and we will try this out tomorrow. It has some history. We work on this program since 2012, and there are lots of studies in the meantime that cite Facepager and use it. You get Facepager on GitHub, and since you're here, I guess you already found the way to install Facepager. Let me say something about what it is not. You see the slides? Well, where is my presentation window? Where do I see you? Okay. Well, I guess you see the slides. What it's not a one click and you get it all solution, I call it. So it's not a tool where you say, give me everything from Facebook about this page, but it is a tool that helps you learning, dealing with APIs. That's the whole idea of the tool. You learn about APIs, and then you can do what you want with the APIs. So it's like driving go-kart or something like this. You will feel every bump on the road. So it's bumpy, and you will see all the errors, and you learn from the errors. And it's not a backdoor to platforms or user data. So it works on public data in the APIs. First things first, what you need to know about automated data collection, and I guess some of you know, is that you always have URLs in the beginning, and then you download data, and then you work with data. So what is an URL? An URL is a string that that consists of several components, a base path, we call it in Facepager. That's essential the API path later. Then we have a resource that says what we want to do on this server, on this API. And then we have some parameters. And what Facepager does, it assembles URLs for you, then downloads and slices the data and saves it in a database. And then you can export it to a CSV file. So when we use a URL and we write it in a browser, we see something like this on the left side here. We see, for example, here at Instagram, we see the Instagram profile of Smart Data Sprint. If you type in the URL that is in the bottom there. And behind this, there is HTML. If you look at the source code of this page, we have HTML. And what you see here on the slide is you have this 100 followers here. It's the German version. That's why there's Abonnenten, but it's the followers. 100 followers you see on the user interface, and you have this number in the HTML. We can go to this number by web scraping and scrape it out to our data set, or we can use an API. And an API usually delivers JSON. It's much more structures. And we have this follower number here too. But the good thing about JSON, this file format, is it is readable for humans and for machines as well, for both. And you can try it out if you want. If you put this parameter, this red parameter behind an URL, this question mark, and then this underscores, 2 underscores, a, and then equal 1, and then you will get, if you're logged in at Instagram, you'll get the JSON format. By the way, you will find the slides in the schedule. I hope you found them. So you can try this out later as well if you want. And you will find a cheat sheet there where the use cases I will talk about in the next minutes are assembled as well. So this is the basis of Facepager. We have URLs that go in, and then there comes out JSON in this case, and then we then we put everything in the database. So this is a chart about all types of automated data collection on the web, and we are dealing with the lower arrow there. Yeah, we use a tool to go to a REST API, to an API, and this API on the server queries the database and gives us back some data. We could use a tool to do web scraping as well, and then we work on this HTML. We go to the website and use the HTML. For now, we stick to the lower arrow. So in Facepager, we have lots of functions, and I think we will only touch the surface here in this hour. We have modules that deal with YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook data. And the interesting thing about these three is that we have a pre-registered access to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube built into Facepager. So you don't need to create an own developer account at Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. You can do this if you want fine-grained control, but you need to go through the app review yourself, and that's time-consuming. For a start, you can use just the built-in Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube models, and then we have a generic module that helps with everything. So eventually, Facepager can be used to deal with every API. There are some special cases that are not covered by Facepager, but most standard REST APIs can be accessed with Facepager. We have some presets built into Facepager, so you can have an easy start. We have some getting started tutorials and all these things. And the last bullet point here points you to some help resources. I have this on a slide later again. So we have some help built into Facepager and the tool itself. Then we have this wiki on GitHub, and I recommend you to go through the getting started sections and go to the sections about the basic functions if you are lost in Facepager. This will help you a lot. We have a Facebook group. You can ask your questions there, and if you do, use this Smart Data Sprint hashtag. So Celia and Julia, some of you met them in the morning. They are there, not all the time, but they try to answer questions there. And we have some YouTube tutorials that help you with getting started. If you start Facepager, it looks like this. We have a menu bar where the basic functions about creating new databases are to be found. We have a status bar. There you see what database you have opened in the lower left, and then we have in this upper panes here we have a notes view where all your items, all your records, or posts or comments you fetched are listed. And if you click on one of these nodes, you will find the data in the node in the data view to your right. You can pull data from the data view into this nodes view, into this table, by adjusting the column setup. You say, give me the total number of comments, for example, and then you can add a column to this nodes view. And that's important because when you export the data, you get everything that is in the nodes view. So you define your export here. That's what you. These three things are important for the data you have. And to get data, you have this query setup. There are lots of options in there, but you don't need to deal with every option. We have the query setup, and then we have a status log to the right where errors are listed and what's going on. And if you fetch data, there is an entry for every request that is sent to the API. So there are always three steps involved when fetching data with Facepager, and I briefly go through these steps, and then I start Facepager, and we try to do it at a practical example, and you can follow me in your own Facepager. And then we go through one use case very quickly, and then we look where the questions are and what didn't work on all these things. Okay, so we have input, throughput, and output. That's the three steps you always need. Input means first you create a new database, a blank new database. Then we add seed nodes. We call seed nodes the starting nodes. For example, we add a Twitter handle or the name of a Facebook page as a seed node. That's all what you have to do in the input phase. Yeah, database and then add seed nodes. You're starting for the data collection. Second, throughput. You have to define the setup, the query setup. And the easiest way to do this is load a preset that does what you want. Then adjust the settings of this preset. A preset means this transfers some settings into these modules. Then you adjust the settings and log into the server of the API provider. For example, when you work with YouTube data, you log into Google. This is the bottom middle button there. Yeah, log into Google. And then you click on fetch data. These three steps. Load preset, look at the settings, fetch data. Output is the last one. You look at your data, you click on the nodes. If you click on the nodes, you see the data in the data view. Then you adjust the columns. You say what you want to see in this nodes view. And then you click on export. That's the output. Okay. I have this here. Yeah. Fine. No, we will skip this. This is for the next workshop. So hands-on. I will switch over to Facepager. And yeah, I mean, we are lots of people here, so I can't ask everybody, but maybe someone can say whether she or he has Facepager started. I just randomly pick one person here. Katerina Foer, you have Facepager started?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, great. So that's nice. So you hear me and you see what I'm doing on my screen, right? Great. So might be a little bit small, or yeah, what you see here on the screen. I will describe everything I do here, and you can try to follow me along. So if you, yeah, all of you, yeah, if you are stuck with something, give me a hint so I can come back to you. Because I mean, it's not easy because you need to switch between the presentation and the Facepager. Yeah, I will try to yeah, be not too fast and not too slow. We'll see. Okay, the first thing I do is I create a new database. And a database, it's just a file. I call it, for now, I call my database Boris Johnson, because I will use the Facebook page of Boris Johnson as an example here for the first example. I have an empty database here, nothing inside, and the first step now is to define a seed node. So what do we need? We need the Facebook ID of the page of Boris Johnson, and you can choose whatever Facebook page you want. As an example, I take Boris Johnson because I thought I need an English page so everyone can follow. But if you want, just take the president of your country or the chancellor of your country or a right-wing extremist of your country or whatever you like. I go to the page of Boris Johnson here. And what we need is, I'll zoom until we have a URL here. We need the handle, the name of this page. So I copied this Boris Johnson into my clipboard and add this by clicking on Add Notes and Facepager into the database. And you can insert hundreds of seed nodes if you want. That's what Facepager does. It automates the collection for you, so you can get data for multiple pages with one click. This is the input. Next step is to select a preset. And what we will do now is we collect the profile data of this Facebook page, then the posts of this page, and then the comments to this page. So we go through 3 steps here. And my list of presets is pretty crowded here because I have lots of presets from different projects here. If you downloaded Facepager, you have some categories here. And if you open a category, you will find some predefined presets, these blue ones. And there's one preset, information about pages, in here. In these presets, you find a description about what to do. Yeah, at Facebook, add these as seed nodes, for example, this, and you find a link to the API reference. I just need to check the time. I have time until, will you not to what is my end time for today? It's 16, or is it? Where is it?
I think that's correct. I think it's 6.
Yeah, it's 15 or 16. Yeah, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in Lisbon time.
Yes.
Yeah. So just want to check whether we have time to look into an API reference, but I think we have, and we should do this. So you have a preset here, and if you click onto the link here, this leads you to it's on the other screen, to the documentation of the API at Facebook. And in this documentation, you will find lots of fields on what you can do and what you are required to, and what you can't do, and about privacy settings and all of this. For example, here we have this section about parameters. There are not many parameters. We will look into the parameters for comments later on, yeah. But we have some parameters here. We see some fields here, what the fields mean, the fields we will fetch. It's always a good idea to look at this documentation and try to understand this. I mean, this is hard stuff because this is written from IT experts, and it's usually not for social science researchers or digital humanities researchers. But you should know, you can open the reference, and if something doesn't work, look into this reference. I load this preset, information about pages. I click apply. And now in this Facebook module, there are some things predefined. For example, the fields we get. We have to add the fields we want to have. And if you need other fields, you look up the yeah, that's what I showed you. You look up the reference and scroll through the fields. Not everything that's listed here is available, because some things are not filled out by the page provider. Others are protected by privacy settings and so on, or you need to be the admin of the page to get some things and so on. But for example, emails. I think you won't get emails with Facepager, because this is protected. And if you have these logs here, engagement, fan count, then you need special permissions. For this, for example, fan count, you have this special permission if you use Facepager, because Facepager has page public content access. That's what I talked about in the beginning. We have pre-registered access to some of the APIs. So you look up the fields you want. For now, I just used the fields in the preset. We log in to Facebook. This opens a window that explains to you some things about the pre-registered access and how to use your own apps if you have a developer account at Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook. I just click on proceed, and you have all these platform terms here. Yeah, you should be aware of the platform terms in terms of services and these things. I click proceed, then the Facebook login page opens, and I log in here. Click here. Oh, hopefully this was correct. I click on login. It's anmelden in German. Login, and after this, if this this works out, you get an access token here. So the login gives you a new access token. I repeat this. I blank out my access token, log in, that's what you need to access the API. So log in, and then the access token field is filled. Next step is to click the Boris Johnson node, or whatever president, chancellor, right-wing or left-wing extremist you've chosen, and click fetch data. And if you do this, maybe the node opens at your installation. I have to open it here. I disabled that new nodes are expanded. So I open the node, and that's our new data set here, our new record here, the item from the API. And if I click on this, we have the fields to the right. And I go through the next steps very quickly, just loading presets, clicking fetch data, loading presets, clicking fetch data, just to show you what we get. So we have the profile information. I select the profile information, load next preset. I load the preset get Facebook posts, click apply, and fetch data. And now I have 20 Facebook posts here. That's defined by the limit. If you want more, you can, I delete them. If you want more, you can increase the maximum pages. For example, 3 pages gives you 3 times 20. So I should get 60 by now. If I do this, takes a little longer, but here we have 60 posts. If I click on one of these, I see the data available here. And I clear the columns just to show you the column setup. If nothing is inside this custom table column setup, then we don't see anything here in this notes view. But I can add the message here, or the name here, or I click on created time and add column, or just type it into the field, created time, and click apply column setup, and then we have these. Okay, next steps, we get the comments to the posts. There are different ways to achieve this. One way is to select the posts where you want comments for, like this. Yeah, you select all these. You can do this with your mouse. Another way, much more easy, is you click on one of the posts and you notice the node level. in the settings. You see, we are on level 3. First level is our seed node. Second level is the profile data. Third level is the post data. And now I click on Boris Johnson, and I can collapse this. I click on Boris Johnson, which has node level 1, and increase node level to 3. And the next steps will work on all child nodes on level 3 now. This is the way you can get comments for or posts for multiple seed nodes, for example. You have 20 starting nodes, and then you select them, and you don't need to select every post to get the comment. Okay, we have the profile information, the posts. We load a preset to get comments. Presets, get comments, apply. I select the first node, increase the node level to 3, and click on fetch data. Now it goes through all my 60 nodes, and you see what's happening in the status log here. Yeah, fetches the comments for every post here. And once this is finished, we can expand all the nodes, or here by hand, or by clicking the expand nodes button. Now we have comments here. Okay, so we have, if we click on this, we have here some metrics, comment count, like count, and such things. Yeah, the last step for now, and then you have some room for questions. I'm happy, I'm very fast now. Now we have some room for questions, and then we have, if we want, we have some other use cases and some special circumstances we can talk through. We export the data, okay? Before exporting the data, keep in mind to define the columns in this node view. So I want from the comments, I want these all: message, create time, comment count, like count, ID. I click add all columns. We have them here. From the posts level, these here are nearly the same with message, from, name, ID. I click add all columns again, but now some are duplicated. So to not mess up with this, you can select whatever you want. I omit the ID, but I put created time and then updated time. I delete this paging and parent things here. Apply column setup. So this is a little bit more neat. And I take the profile information as well. I take name and about, and why not talking about count, fan count. So we define the columns here, and for the profile we have these columns. For the posts, you see here some of these are filled, and for the comments, these here in the beginning. Okay, I click export data, and yet now you have two options. Only export the selected nodes. I just selected one node. There's one node clicked here, or all nodes, which is faster for large data sets, but this will reorder the nodes. So what I do for now, for first thing, I select the Boris Johnson node. It's the top node, and I export everything from this one node, and I select selected nodes here. This is easier for beginners to understand, because the result looks very similar to what you have in Facepager, but all nodes is faster. Selected nodes, and I call this Boris Johnson here. Save this. Whoop. And now I have in my folder where the database is here. This was this. You see the folder of your database in the top, in the bottom left here. I click on this, and this opens up the folder. Now I have a CSV file here. We can open this with Excel or Pages or whatever you like, and you have the columns you defined in here. We have some more columns inside here. There's an ID column and a parent ID column, because if you go back to Facepager, we have hierarchy in here. It's nested, yeah? This is the profile information is a child node to the Boris Johnson node. The posts are all child nodes to this profile information, and the comments are all child nodes to this post nodes. That's what belongs to what nodes is to be found in these two columns, ID and parent ID. Parent is the parent, yeah? So if we look at this row here, the parent ID of this row with the profile information is row number 1. This is important if you, for example, want to work with network data. Yeah. For now, we just have the messages one after another here, and what you can do with this is out of scope of this practical lab here, but I just show you how I work with these data, so you can get an idea what is an appropriate way to deal with this. I use R and RStudio for loading Facepager data, and I just walk through this very quickly to. Oh, that's the wrong one. To there it is. To show you what you can get with this. I load the CSV file. It's just the same as in Excel or in Facepager here with all these columns, and then I do some data branding and count the words in the posts and the comments and things like this. And for now, I produce a word cloud here. Does it work? It works. So what we see here, just as an example for what you can do with words, we have the most important words in the comments to the left here, and the most important words in the posts to the right. And what do we see here? We see the people in the comments use words such as brainwashing, or such as vaccinated. I don't know how you pronounce this, but awesome as well. Boris Johnson and his posts use words like okay, a lot of corona things, some numbers, COVID, aliens, sustainable. Okay, we don't go into the analysis part here. I head back to Facepager, and I have another use case. We could look at Twitter, we could look at YouTube, or we could look at network data to see, for example, how the pages a page likes leads you to a network of page likes, to a page like network. But first of all, I talked a lot. I guess you have questions or things that
Jacob, sorry to interrupt. Here's Anna. I noticed, I'm not sure if you have the chat open there. There is like some 2 questions. I'm not sure if you can maybe go there and then.
Yeah, can you help me? Where do I see the chat window?
You can you should click there down, and then there is like this balloon.
Right.
So you can click, and then there's like one question from Daria and another one from Fabio. I think this could be better. You go this first, and then you go to another example if you.
Yeah, great.
Sorry to interrupt, but.
Okay, so we have a question from Daria here. I need to check what is this. I need to download this file. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. This error occurs from time to time, and we have no clue why. I guess this has to do something with the settings of your account. For example, we had this case in the morning. If you have two-factor authentication enabled at Facepager, then then this doesn't work. Not with the predefined pre-registered apps. Okay. No, this is from Fabio. This is not from Daria. I mixed this up. Sorry. So for now, this is a very special case, Fabio. What I can suggest you is, if it is enabled, disable the two-factor authentication. But to be honest, we have no real idea what is happening here. We couldn't reproduce this on our own computers. It seems to depend on the computer you use as well. Anybody else who has this one, the red security warning message?
Yes, Daria just answered that she has this.
Yeah.
Maybe if they want to open the mic, and if it's easier or faster, so you choose.
So for now, there is no easy solution here. I think we could try to talk about this in the Facepager user group and try to find out what's really happening here. But for now, I guess you need to use another computer or another Facebook account, or use YouTube, Twitter, or something like this. Not the Facebook module. This, yeah, it's interesting. Two persons in one time. Yeah, I've seen this message last time or months ago. I don't know. Let's first talk about the 404 error. Okay, the 404 error. Monica, can you share your screen with us?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Well, but yeah. So
because this is a very common one, and it's.
Can you see it now? Yes, I guess so.
Yeah.
I tried to fetch the Greta Thunberg page.
Yeah.
And then I got the error. And I tried it again, so that's why it's here.
Yeah.
Twice.
Great. That's a great error. That's a great error. it helps you learning something. You click on this data, and to the top right, you see an error message.
Top right here. Yeah. Error. Yes.
Cannot query users by their username. I guess can you hover your mouse over the value so we see the full value, a little bit about the value of the message. The cannot query users, go with your mouse about, this one,
okay.
Cannot query users by their username, Greta Thunberg. And by the way, there are a lot of tooltips in Facepager. So if you hover with your mouse over some buttons, you will find extra information. So this is not a Facebook page, or it is a very special kind of Facebook page, but this is a username. So yeah, let's have a look at the Greta Thunberg page.
Okay, I tried again.
Yeah, you see there is no content there, or we have another page, maybe. So.
Well, okay, I just typed it in. Okay,
yeah.
what's my mistake?
This is Greta Thunberg, Sweden. This happens if you use handles of groups, Facebook groups, or usernames, or even if you try to access restricted data. So just click on the add nodes and enter this one, and then you go through the presets with the profile information, then the posts, then the comments. So this should work. First was the information about pages. The last one in the list.
Information about pages. I apply. Oops.
Yeah. and then you click fetch data. Okay, I think you need to click the Greta Thunberg notice. Yeah, right. There it is.
Oh,
In the
great.
data. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
So always read the error messages, and then this gives you hints about what happens. So
I stop my screen sharing.
yeah, great. Oh, Fabio, you're using Facepager, but it doesn't work now. That's interesting. We have another question here. Tip. Okay, I think we talked about the ones in the chat. Did we? You have other questions? Other things that didn't work, or?
I have a quick question. Not in relation to nothing work, but you just said, can you only query pages, not groups, with Facepager?
Right.
Okay.
This is let's say it's a little bit more complicated than this. You can use every API with Facepager, but you need access to the API, and usually you don't have access to Groups API. Only if you yourself register at Facebook, submit a use case, and get approved for access to Groups API. But it's not that easy. It might be easy if you are the admin of the group, but if you're not the admin of the group, it's complicated. So if you are admin of a page or a group, there are sometimes easier ways to go through this. But yeah, the built-in access in Facepager, and that was hard enough to get it. I tell you, it was. It cost me a lot of nerves, and already does, because it's always chatting with Facebook, and Facebook behaves like a call center or a bot or something like this. So there are no real people, I think. I don't know. So they say this is not approved because of, and then you get some standard answers, and but it is achievable. You can do this, but you need to think through this and try to apply with your use cases and these things. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
There are lots of limitations in the Facebook API. I could talk about all the limitations, I guess, for hours, but just let me add some more to this. If you query posts, for example, from a very active page, say you have a page, there are thousands of posts per year, you only get 600, up to 600. And this is a fixed Facebook limit. So you get up to 600 posts from this page, and you can't decide which one. You just get a selection of posts, and Facebook decided which posts. And if you want to have, for example, for May 2021, the posts, you might only get 5, because the 600 post limit applies to the whole year. So whole year 600, and then some are in May or not, and then you get some of these. So there, and it is manageable, but you need to think about all these limitations in the Facebook API if you work with this. Usually you get the very active posts with lots of user engagement and these things. And if this is appropriate for you, your use case, you're fine. But if you're looking for very special things, it might be complicated. Okay, there is something in the chat. It's a group who authorized this access of Facebook. Nohemi, can you elaborate on this? I don't really understand this.
Yeah. My question is, if I belong to a group, but I am not the administrator, what if I talk to the administrators and I get the permission? I mean, can I do that and then notice Facebook that I already have this? Or is something that I cannot do because Facebook decides?
Oh, that should be possible. Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, you or the group owner need to register a developer account at Facebook.
Okay.
and then you need the approval from the group owner and the approval from Facebook, both. But it should be possible. I didn't try it myself, but that's the way to go for this.
Okay.
That's how social media organizations that help you with managing groups or doing social media campaigns and these things, that's how they do this.
Okay, thank you very much. Jakob.
Yeah, okay. There is a question from Jose. How is it pronounced? Jose?
Jose.
Jose, there. So sorry, I'm not very good with names. Yeah, we have this generic module, and as I said, you can use every API, nearly every API. So if there is an API, you can use this. With Reddit, I needed to try this out because I think this is not only it should work with Reddit, yes, but you need to think about, well, do I want to do web scraping, take the web page of Reddit and scrape things out? That should be possible with the generic module, or is there some API I can use? For example, and that's definitely possible for you. You could apply at Facebook for a CrowdTangle access. This is an access. CrowdTangle is an access where you get access to Facebook data, Instagram data, and Reddit data, and you could use this access from the user interface of CrowdTangle or with Facepager as well. So there are some you could, for example, use this API. I'm not sure whether is there a real Reddit API. Is there an API that is? I'm not really sure, because all the times I used things with Reddit, I did it by web scraping. So, but it should be possible, yeah. And you will find some presets for doing web scraping built in, and we'll talk about web scraping tomorrow as well, and about the generic module. Okay, question about Instagram. Instagram is special. Instagram belongs to Facebook. So as I said, Facebook is very keen on not getting in trouble after the Cambridge Analytica stories. And you will find presets to scrape Instagram data in the wiki, in the presets tab, but we don't have these in this list if you click the presets button, because this is web scraping and this is not prohibited by Instagram. And you need to think a little bit about how to use this API. It will not, last time I did it, the presets in the wiki worked very well. But in the meantime, I think you need to authorize and log into Instagram, and that's possible with Facepager. But this is a really special case. If you want, I can go with you through this one special case with Instagram, but it would take some time. So we needed to decide whether we try to talk about Instagram now. So it's possible, but it's a special case, yeah. So because the standard API of Instagram, you could apply for this, but it's not built into Facepager, and it's the same thing with the groups and these things. You have to go through an app review and get approved by Facebook and these things. So the unofficial, the dark way to do this is web scraping, or some mix. It's a mixture of web scraping and working with APIs in these presets. Yeah. So we could talk about Instagram. I see from Daniel, yes, please. And I see a yes, please from Deborah South. The other thing I have prepared is working with network data. So is there a poll possible here? Can I start polls here? No, I can't. There is no. Maybe we do this. You just say yes, yes, please, or yes, of course. Open your microphones. Yeah, I asked the 2 questions, and the one that is louder we will do. Working with network data or looking at Instagram. Okay, so open your microphones.
Nice approach. Nice approach.
Okay, and the loudest will win. You don't need to cry or shout very loud. Just say
Instagram.
Okay, I count to 3. Okay.
Instagram.
Network data.
You say Instagram or you say
Instagram.
network. I count to 3. Okay.
And network data.
Wait.
Instagram.
3, 2, 1, go.
Instagram.
Network data.
I love that.
I think the Instagram was louder. Okay, we maybe we have some time to look into the network. I start with the Instagram. I need to share my screen again. I will just show you the first steps about this Instagram thing, and show you how this is a special case. I stay in this database and I go to the Instagram Smart Data Sprint page, just to have a starting point. Okay, I need to be logged in here. So it's the same as with Facebook or all other APIs. We need a seed node, and this is Smart Data Sprint here. Yeah, and I add this to the Facepager database. And then if you downloaded the presets I show you from the wiki, you can do this later because it will take you some time to install them. You have here, in the wiki, you have a presets link, and there's this description about what are presets and how to use them and how to create them yourself and these things, and how to edit them. And then you have here Instagram search, get profile data, get posts. You can, and I will do this to show you how this works. You can download these, right click and save something somewhere. And then if you have this preset window, all your user presets are in a folder you see to the bottom left. For me, it is in this folder, users Jakob Facepager presets. And you click on this, and here are all my personal presets. This is not the default preset folder, but the personal presets. So you can download the preset, put it into this folder. And then if you click on reload or you restart Facepager, you have more presets. And I think you should get one of these, I guess, get profile data. The get profile data preset, for example. And I apply this. And what you see here is the example we had in the very beginning. Instagram.com/ and then comes the page ID. This placeholder object ID here is replaced by whatever you put as a seed node or as a node here. So this is replaced by Smart Data Sprint, and then there comes a parameter A1. This will lead you to the JSON representation of the data. And now something about what is special here. If we just use Facepager, Instagram will recognize there is a Python script trying to access the Instagram page, and Instagram will say, no, I don't want any Python scripts to work on my data. So we send a user agent here. The user agent says, what kind of browser am I? And I have here a user agent of this is, I don't know, is it Firefox or Chrome or something like this? I have assembled a document. You find this in the schedule for where all kinds of use cases are inside. And there in the web scraping section, there is a hint about how to find user agents. If you want to, we need to say we are not Facepager. We need to say we are the Chrome browser. That's one thing. And I just try this out. I guess this will not work, but I try. Okay, it worked. Oh, great. Without authorization. So I click this. I got some data about the page first, but I will show you the special case. I mean, with logging in a minute. I think there was another preset getting posts, and here we need numeric user IDs as seed nodes. So not the smart data sprint, but the ID of the user. And we already have this from, I click apply here. We already have this because this is contained in the data we get in the first step. That's why we always first fetch the profile data to get the IDs we need. So there's a Facebook ID in here, and somewhere there's an ID. This is the ID. And if I click this and just I try out, just apply the preset. Does it work? It works out of the box. Oh, I didn't expect this to happen because there is no login here, but it works. So now we have posts here. Is there a message text somewhere? Yeah, here's a caption. Here's a caption. And we have URLs for the images here. This is in the, for example, in the thumbnail URL here. Or if we go through this, I'll make this a little bit bigger. My screen is too small for this. Yes, no, it works. So we have this. So we have somewhere we have a thumbnail inside here. Node display URL. And the special thing here is we have no documentation. So you are like a hacker here and need to find out what works and what doesn't work. Because this is not the official API of Instagram, but it is the unofficial API that Instagram uses itself on its page. Because Instagram page works like you go to the page, and then the browser itself queries the API to assemble the posts and these things. And we mimic a browser here. Yeah, we act like a browser, getting things. We do things the browser does, and that's why you have to deal with these things. And you have you have no documentation about this, so you have to find out. In the display URL, if I copy this URL here, I copy this. Or I just press Control copy. That's much more easier for this, and enter this here. This is the image, and just to show you how you could, if you wanted, get the images. You can use the generic module to download files. And I'm not sure whether we have a preset here. Do we have a predefined preset? Oh, there is somewhere there is a preset, but I'll show you how to download these images from scratch, because this is this will show you a very essential feature of Facepager. The generic module, I blank out everything here in the generic module. All parameters, all the resources, everything's done. It's gone here. I take out everything here. Nothing inside, just to go from scratch. The access token. Okay, that's fine. So what we want to do here is we want the file that was linked to this URL, and we find the URL in the key that is called node.displayURL. If I click here on add column, I got this here below, node.display URL. And I take this one and put it into the base path. Instead of this object ID things, I put it into this, in this brackets, in this, can you see this? I make this a little bit, right? Yeah, we use a placeholder here, and Facepager will replace everything that is in these brackets here with data from your nodes view. So this will be replaced by the URL in node.display URL. And if I do this, it would try to download the image and put it into the database, but that's not helpful. What we need here is we need to save this as a file. So we select file in the response, and then we say where to store the file. As we specify download folder here, and I say this is my Insta images folder. I choose this. I select the file name, and I just select object ID here, and I say I set the custom file extension to none. This will guess the extension. I hope this will work. If you hover over this, you get some explanation about what is this for here. So that's my basic setup now here. I download this URL to this folder and save it under this under a name. Object ID is replaced by these numbers or these IDs of the post. Try it out. So I click fetch data, and let's have a look. Where did I put this? APIs news. No, where was this? Here. Okay, it was in this folder. Here they are, and they have this JFIF extension. Okay, these are the images. So, and by the way, this is the way you can use every API or do web scraping. Yeah? You define what you want to have, the URLs in the generic module, and then you say what to do. Save as a file, save in the database, extract JSON or something like this. Just one more word about the authorization here, because I expected that this will not work with the preset, because if you are not logged into the website, usually you don't get any data. But there is a way to log into a website with Facepager, and that's by the settings here. We can select the cookie authorization. Cookies are these cookies. You get these after a login from a page, and if you visit Instagram later, your browser sends a cookie, and then Instagram knows, okay, this is the user we already logged in. And I use the Instagram page as login URL. This client ID and secret fields, don't care about them. This is if you have a pre-registered app or something like this. We use the cookie authorization, set the login URL. I click OK. And if I click login now, it navigates me to this page. I need to accept this. We are in Instagram now, and I can log in here. And this works for most other sites as well. So I log in here with my my Facebook account. No, that's the wrong password. This is the right one. And after I did this, I'm redirected to the Instagram page. And you see in the status bar, Facepager collects the cookies for you. Cookie for domain instagram.com. And once you are logged in, you can click transfer cookie. And what this does is it transfers the cookie to the access token field below here. Transfer cookie, transfers the cookie here. I close the window, and now in every request we'll send the cookie from the login here, and that should. Yeah, no, I stop here because our time is running away. So then if you now fetch data, a cookie is sent, and you don't act as an anonymous user, but as yourself. So be aware, Instagram or Facebook, they know who you are if you fetch data here. Okay, I stop here with the Instagram thing. Yeah, and we're running out of time. You have any questions? What's in the chat, by the way? Where do we see the chat? There it is. No, it vanished. Here, ha. Is comments maximum of data using Facepager? Okay, the two questions with the comments. Yeah, you can get comments. So we have the posts, and then there is this unofficial preset about comments by shortcode, I think. Yeah. Or is there a preset in the wiki? No, this was the wrong one. I wanted to go here. Posts. Okay, we have the search. We don't have a comment preset here. Yeah, the thing is, this is. Yeah, I think it works. I try out for just some of these. Okay, it says me, and that's a feature of all APIs, rate limits. So this is related to the question: is there a maximum of data we can collect? There is a maximum from the APIs, because, for example, on Twitter you can get 15 requests in 15 minutes. That means 1 request per minute. On Facebook, we have rate limits as well. You will run into rate limits. It means they will stop you and say error 429 here, and then you have to retry later. That's one. That's the basic restriction. And another restriction we have is that if the database gets really big, then Facepager gets slow. So then you would think about splitting up your databases. For example, one for the posts, one for the comments, one for Boris Johnson, one for other presidents and chancellors and these things. So the comment preset here doesn't work out of the box, that one I have here, because it runs into the rate limit. I mean, I give it another try without my cookie. I disable this, but I guess this will be the same. Yeah. So that's where it gets complicated and where it's a special case. It is possible. I did this, but at the moment, I would need to dive into this and get an idea of what's happening here. That's the problem for most tools working with Instagram, that they sometimes work and then some weeks later things changed or rate limits changed, and then you can't get anything anymore. Twitter. Okay, time's up now. Yeah, I have to close this now. I will answer the last question here, and I stop my screen sharing to look you into your eyes, and then I think I should hand over to the next workshop. What you can get from Twitter depends on your access level on Twitter. And in the standard API, you get 7 days, the last 7 days. You can use, there are 2 ways to overcome this. One way is to apply for the academic research track, and that's not complicated. That works. That works. Twitter likes to help researchers at the moment, so this is possible. We have a preset that's brand new. I just uploaded it yesterday about the academic track of Twitter and how to use it with Facepager. Because this is a very new API they released at Twitter some weeks ago, and we have been through the test phase now, and now it's public. This is one way. The second way to get historical data are 3 ways. The second way is don't use search to search for data, but use the handle of an account, for example, the Boris Johnson account, and then you can get all tweets. So you can go back as far as you want, up to 3,200 tweets. That's a lot, 3,200 tweets. So it's not all, but it's a lot. And the third way is to use the premium APIs of Twitter. And then you have I think 50 requests per month free. That's not a lot, and then you need to pay for this. But it's possible. But it's expensive. The premium is expensive. But you can do this. Okay, I need to quit here. I hope you've learned some of the basics here, and you can go on and try to figure out some things. We have, I had this slide, but I don't open it now. We have these YouTube tutorials, the wiki, and feel free to go to the Facepager user group and to ask questions. There are some students answering questions, and sometimes I look into this group as well if I have time. So thanks for being with me here, and have a great time at the data sprint.
Thank you,
Bye.
Jacob. Thank you. So great to have you. We have like 7 minutes recess before the next workshop. So it's in the same link. So who wants to stay in the room, stay in the room. Who wants to log out and then log in, it's up to you. So we start at 3:10 with Ana Marta Flores and the content analysis on Instagram.